Welcome to Traveler's Tales. I am your host, Greg Alonzo. Today I will be your guide through history as we take a look at Thutmose III, the Napoleon of ancient Egypt. Before we begin, just a reminder that we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. Legend tells us one thing, while history tells us another. Thutmose III was the sixth pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. Officially, he ruled Egypt for almost 54 years, and his reign is usually dated from 1479 before the Common Era to 1425 before the Common Era. At the age of 2, Thutmose's father, Thutmose II, died. The infant was too young to rule on his own, and his stepmother, Hatshepsut, acted as co-regent. Over the next 22 years, he was forced into the subsidiary role as the head of Hatshepsut's army while she was named pharaoh. After the death of Hatshepsut, Thutmose set out to create the largest empire Egypt had ever known. It is believed that he led 17 campaigns and conquered lands from the kingdom of Naya in northern Syria to the fourth cataract of the Nile in Nubia. Historians generally consider Thutmose III a military genius, and over a 20-year span, he soundly defeated all those who stood against Egypt. Thus, he is often referred to as the Napoleon of ancient Egypt. The pharaoh is renowned for having captured over 350 cities across the Near East during his reign. Thutmose III was also the first pharaoh to cross the Euphrates and invade the land of the Mitanni. Thutmose is also credited with transforming Egypt into an international superpower. The might of Egypt now stretched as far as Syria and Canaan to the east and Nubia to the south. Many historians believe that the empire had actually expanded further, even to the island of Alatia, today's Cyprus. However, there is no concrete evidence to substantiate this claim. This leads us to the question, why was Thutmose III so successful a battlefield commander? Were his battlefield tactics far superior to those of other kings and generals? Most likely not. However, with regard to war, he actually used one simple tactic. Rather than seeking out his enemies and exploiting them to fight an all-out battle on the field of his choosing, he methodically conquered one city at a time. His tactic of subduing one city or state at a time resulted in the surrender of each faction until complete domination was achieved. What of weapons? Were the Egyptians of the time armed with superior weaponry over their enemies? In a word, yes. The Egyptians had learned from their one-time conquerors, the Hyksos, how to use and fight from horse-drawn chariots. Due to their time under the Hyksos subjugation, the Egyptians learned how to use and develop superior weapons that ensured little resistance from the neighboring kingdoms that Thutmose III sought to subjugate. We have learned from the accurate battlefield records kept by the royal scribe Tanuni and the wall writings in the temples of Armada and Karnak, the Egyptians also carried boats on dry land. Armed with chariots, boats, and superior weaponry, the Egyptian army had developed into an unstoppable force. After subjugating both Canaan and Syria, Thutmose III then focused his attention on the kingdom of the Mitanni. This was a Hurrian country with an Indo-Aryan ruling class. However, to reach Mitanni, the Egyptian army had to cross the Euphrates River. Now Thutmose III took full advantage of his boats and sailed directly to Byblos. Once over land, he proceeded with his usual tactic of raiding and pillaging city after city. Once the Egyptians had taken the cities of Aleppo and Carchemish, they took the Mitanni king entirely by surprise. Thutmose III was not only a great military general, he was a prolific builder. The pharaoh constructed more than 50 temples. He also commissioned the building of many tombs for nobles, which were of greater craftsmanship than ever before seen. Thutmose III's reign also marked a period of great stylistic changes in sculpture, paintings, and reliefs. The one major disappointment is that the pharaoh did all he could to eradicate the memory of his predecessor and stepmother, Hatshepsut. Thutmose III clearly never forgave his stepmother for not allowing him to rule the first 20 years of his reign. In retaliation, the pharaoh saw to it that many statues of Hatshepsut were defaced and monuments to her were destroyed. Nevertheless, due to the expansion policies of Thutmose III, Egypt once again reigned supreme as the undisputed power of the region. This brings us to the end of Thutmose III, the Napoleon of ancient Egypt. In part 2, we will take a look at your questions and comments. Just as a reminder, we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. For your convenience, we've also posted our email address and Instagram information. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to our channel. This is really the best way to help the channel grow. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Traveler's Tales. Partista.